tells us not to add anything to what is written. What was written is YHWH, but it is not pronounceable in our time. So that people may pronounce it, they presumptuously added the vowel E, O, and A. That's why the word Jehovah was formed. And worse is that it does not contain the original letters, because the original letters is Y and W. They changed it to J. There is no letter J in the Hebrew alphabet. That's why we are sure that Jehovah is not the name of God. That is what you have to know about the name Jehovah, brother. It is an invention of the Masoretes, changing the YHWH into JHVH, then adding vowels, E, O, A, to the changed name. That is a fake. It is not the real name of God. That's my answer to your question.
Carrying it there in the church, is it good or not? If somebody die, member of the church die, and then take them in a building of the church, is it good?
Are you talking about the building or the church chapel?
I am talking about the building.
If you are talking about the building or the chapel, and you are going to carry a dead member of the church in the chapel for the wake to be attended by other brethren, there's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing wrong about that. It is an act of compassion, and it's an act of love that a dead member of the church be carried to the building or to the chapel, or in order for other members to see and to help the relatives of the dead person. That is it, brother. There's nothing wrong about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jordan River. The Jordan River is the largest and longest river that flows in Israel. Moreover, it is the only river within Israel that has a permanent flow year-round. All other rivers dry up for periods of months and do not fill up until the winter. The Jordan River is definitely the most famous river in the world. It is mentioned in the Bible about 180 times in the Old Testament and 15 times in the New Testament. This river, which played a significant role in numerous events of the Bible history, is derived from the Hebrew word Yarden, meaning descender. It is an appropriate name since the 10-mile wide river descends from the heights of its sources near Mount Hermon to the depths of the Dead Sea, a drop of about 2,380 feet. Due to the twists and turns of its course, the full length of the river is 100 miles. Its headwaters lie more than 1,000 feet above sea level, and its mouth at the Dead Sea at nearly 1,300 feet below sea level. The Jordan River was the setting for so many of the great events in the Bible. The first mention of it is when Abraham and Lot parted company. Genesis chapter 13 verse 10 to 11.
And Lot lifted up his eyes, and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other.
Moses was not allowed to cross the Jordan and enter the promised land. Deuteronomy chapter 3 verse 23 to 29 and 31 verse 2. But Joshua, after succeeding Moses as the leader of the people, entered the promised land with the Israelites by crossing the Jordan River. That, like the Red Sea, was miraculously divided for them. We can read this in Joshua chapter 3 verse 15 to 17.
And as they that bear the ark were come unto Jordan, and the feet of the priests that bear the ark were dipped in the brim of the water, for Jordan overfloweth all his banks all the time of harvest, that the waters which came down from above stood and rose up upon an heap very far from the city Adam, that is beside Zaratan. And those that came down toward the sea of the plain, even the salt sea, failed and were cut off, and the people passed over right against Jericho. And the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan, and all the Israelites passed over on dry ground until all the people were passed clean over Jordan.
John the Baptist conducted much of his ministry in the Jordan River. This is where Jesus Christ was baptized. Let us read Mark chapter 1 verse 9.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized of John in Jordan.
Jordan still retains the unique baptismal aura of a holy river today. The Jordan River is not only a prominent site in biblical history, it is truly a natural phenomenon. A physical proof that shows how authentic the Bible is. The Jordan River.
Technological breakthroughs have made the first steps to salvation easier. Hear the unadulterated words of God in the Holy Scriptures.